What's up?
Hey,
How you going?
good. What about you?
Oh, yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Thank you for coming on and coming and chatting with us. We got two legends in the chat, Mando and Koshi, ready for an exciting podcast. Um, love it. First of all, how are you? What have you been up to? Give us the lowdown.
The normal work and streaming.
Working streaming. You love streaming, eh? How did you get into it in the first place? What was the first thing you decided? Why did you decide to stream in the first place? That's a real question.
Well, enough, it was an ex
Hmm.
who gave me the ideal, and then I did it for a little bit, and I actually quit within like my first month.
Really?
Yeah, because I started out and I just kept with the game I was playing at the time. I was getting stream sniped, and literally they were just coming in and trolling me, and it's such a bad experience. I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And then it was like a few months later, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it again. And
Hmm.
then I kind of just got in. It was like I quit playing that game, and oddly enough, I didn't have to deal with no more drama.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
weird.
Well, no, that's what happens too. Like a lot of gaming for a lot of people is a escape from reality a little bit, isn't it? Like when people
Yeah,
like
it's
game, they enjoy doing that kind of thing. But I mean, trolls don't have a lot of energy. Let's be honest. Like they come and
yeah,
go as they please, but they never stick around. So I mean, it's yeah, you can't let anybody ruin anything for you. You need to just you know do it
yeah.
because you
It's
want to.
like for me, I just want. It's like okay, gaming takes me away from dealing with the bull crap of life,
Yeah.
and then they were ruining that. I'm like, I'll just go back to playing my games.
Yeah, exactly. No, I get that. I get that. But I mean, since you've been back on doing the Twitch stuff, I mean, I'm sure how many awesome people have you met because of it? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's
Oh,
plenty.
I can't count. It's been amazing this time.
Yeah.
I've got friends I talk to every day from it.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like with the community that we've got over here, like a lot of the people, I mean, even as you see in the chat right now, like, YouTube isn't our main platform. Like, obviously the main platform is Twitch. But there's always the people that will come and watch you and do anything. Like doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. They're always going to follow you no matter where you go. So I think you make those kind of friends for life. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I benefit from it because I'm not that much of a like I'm happy to go out and talk to strangers. That's not my problem. My problem is that strangers don't want to talk to me. So I think the more fact is like when it comes to like developing friendships and meeting people. In the world we live in now, it's very hard to do that in real life unless you're in a workplace situation.
Yeah.
If you don't like, for me, I work by myself. So like, if I was to try and meet anyone, it would be impossible because I don't have anyone I talk to every day. Because it's like, but then if I get online and I have like all these people ready to have a chat, so it's like it's kind of
Yeah.
like a nice experience and a nice way of like changing that as well. I think it's good balance for social life.
Oh, yeah,
in,
definitely.
in this day and age because it's not like you used to when you used to be able to just go to a bar and just have a chat to people. It doesn't really
Yeah.
work like that anymore, does it?
No.
No, it's frustrating. Um,
Very.
how let's give everyone a little bit of information on yourself, like because a lot of people in my community they know of you, right?
Yeah.
Because they've seen you in the Discord. They've also come over to your streams and said hello. I'm sure you've had a few people from my stream come to your
Oh,
stream and
yeah.
say hello. Maybe give everyone a little bit of an insight into your life, who you are, what you do, and a little bit more about Amanda, so we're not so like stuck in mystery.
Oh, I'm so bad about talking about myself.
That's
But
okay. You can start here.
no, so I'm obsessed with gaming. That's like everything for me. It's my stress reliever because I work in a warehouse and I literally fix machines all night. That's all I do is fix what's broken.
Right. What kind of
And
machines?
they weave carpet for airplanes and hotels.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it's crappy machines.
Yeah. Right. That's crazy.
Oh, that no, it just sucks.
Okay. How did you get into that?
Actually, I started out in the warehouse. I've always had more of a construction type job,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I moved to Georgia, that a lot of people around here don't want to hire women doing construction
Why is that?
because it's still very like sexist,
Oh, okay.
and
That's
it's
weird.
all yeah,
Do
it
they think
is.
they're not that you're not going to work as hard, or
They think I can't do what they can do.
right? Okay,
Like,
interesting.
oh, you don't know that. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And then they look at my size because I'm a whole 5'2".
Yeah.
But when I moved to Georgia, so I just went and worked in a warehouse, and I started out as QA,
hmm
which is quality control. And then a few of the guys was, like having issues, and I was like, just jumped in and started helping them work on machines.
Okay.
And pretty quickly they moved me up, and they once they realized, okay, she knows the shit. They put me on the machines and started letting me rebuild and fix everything.
Nice. Oh, well, like this is the thing about it. Like, if you have the brain for it, it doesn't really matter what it is, right? Like, as long as
Right.
you get the opportunity. I think that's the
Yeah.
main part. And I guess it's also a good way to show you them who's boss a little bit. So you're like, hey, by the way,
Yeah.
I can do this job. Fuck you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like
Oh, I
that.
love proving people wrong.
Yeah, no, that's good though. That means you have drive. You have integrity, and
Yeah.
you're happy to do what you challenge yourself a little bit. Because people get stuck in jobs they don't like because they don't like to challenge themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you challenge yourself even though you weren't looking for another position and you got it anyway. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of like another different concept altogether. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. That's cool. Um, I mean, so you got into that job. What other things have you done prior? Did you get any? Did you do anything with college or anything like that, or do you just jump into the jobs and just go for it?
I did some college and I dropped out
Mm-hmm.
and kind of went straight into construction,
Yeah. Okay.
which I don't know why. I just tend to fall that way. I love building stuff. I love putting stuff together and taking it apart.
Yeah. That's
I don't
literally
know
my
why.
whole job. So.
I love fixing stuff for some reason. It's weird.
No, that's good. I mean, like I did the same thing. I went to university, which is what we call it here, and
Mhm.
I dropped out after like a year of doing like a medical sort of degree, and then I went into mechanics, and I've been a mechanic for 14 years. So I know what you mean. Like it wasn't even
Yeah.
like a job that I thought of. I just like, oh, I know how to fix cars. I can do that, and then I just end up doing it forever.
Yeah.
So, which is exciting to get out of it soon because I'll be out of the trade soon. So doing something
Oh,
different,
really?
which is good. Yeah. So, um, you got to keep it interesting, because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I like being challenged.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to like work related things or knowledge related things. Like I don't want to learn the same things over and over again or get stuck in something that's boring.
You get
Like,
bored. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. And like you do a job for long enough, and you're like, if it becomes like a complete routine, like, do you know what I mean? Like it becomes completely
Mhm.
like, robot work.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like it's nothing. It's like purgatory. It's nothing worse. You
Yeah,
know,
I know.
you got to move on after that, I think, and just get on with something different. Because
Yeah.
fuck that.
Exactly.
um, so you got onto all these jobs. You're doing a little bits and pieces here and there. You
Mhm.
were telling me before a little bit how your mum used to do like night shift and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, my
how did
mom's
that work with like schooling and stuff? Like that must have been a difficult situation.
it was weird because, like, I would stay up late. I always because like, you didn't wake my mother. That was not a good idea for anyone. And so it's like, I'd go to school, and I'd come home, and I'd go sleep at, like, 5 o'clock in the day. And then I would sleep until, like, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, just be up all night and all day at school.
That's wild. That's just such a weird sleeping pattern for a kid, though, right? Like,
Yeah, it was. And now it's like I just I sleep in the daytime. I can't sleep at night.
fucking hell. Oh, that'd be rough. I this is the thing though. Like, for me, it's like I'm like an insomniac. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I've always been
Yeah.
someone who is a bit of a night owl, like a gamer. I've always been up late,
Mhm.
sleeping in or hardly sleeping at all because I'm like, gaming doesn't stop for sleep. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I used to do all the like a lot of World of Warcraft stuff, so I was like, I was always
Mm.
up stupid hours. when I was younger as well. And then I'm like, fuck, I need to sleep at some point. But then I was like, I'm not tired anymore. So it's
Mhm.
like, it was always, gaming always comes first.
Yeah.
Always. So, and again, it is a good escape for everything, like depending what you're trying to escape, obviously. But,
Mhm.
um, so what was your first sort of game that you loved the most? What was the one that got you into the whole situation in the first place?
Oh gosh, my first?
Hmm.
We're gonna go way back.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mario.
Mario.
I loved Mario on Super Nintendo.
Nice.
That started it.
That's a great kickoff. I remember I remember when I was younger, we used to like play Mortal Kombat on Super
Oh my
Nintendo.
gosh, yes.
It's probably one of the greatest games ever. Like it was so basic, but it was so much fun.
It was climbing the tower.
Yeah. And the fun part about it too is like you could play that game for hours even though it was the same shit over and over again because it was the
Mhm.
greatest game of the day. Whereas like you wouldn't go back and play it now because like all these games are so much better. Like because that's all the games that we were playing when we were kids were shit, right? In comparison. But they were the best
Yeah.
thing that we'd ever had. So we didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
any better. So it was like
Mhm.
it's like when they first brought out the first Doom game, and then I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest game ever made. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so bad. like,
Exactly.
like, it's like pixelated fucking, it's worse than
Oh my
Minecraft.
gosh.
Like, it's a shocker.
It is. I tried playing Mario, I wanna say, like, a year ago, and I was just like, "Holy shit, no."
Yeah, you're like, wow, this is actually what I used to play.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy stuff. I mean, I was watching, there's a couple of streamers I know that play The Sims, right? Now
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of The Sims. I think The Sims is probably one of
Yeah.
the most boring games I've ever seen.
I can't do it.
It's just not my thing. Like I tried playing it. This is a hilarious story basically. One time on Twitch I tried playing The Sims. I lasted an hour, um, which is longer than I
Made it longer
thought.
than me.
So I got an hour in, I was like, this game is so stupid. And I just turned it off, uninstalled it, and then just started playing something else. And the people that were in the chat at the time were just laughing because they're like, this is the one time you've ever played this game and the one time you'll ever play this game. And we were all here to witness your frustration. And for those people who come in and out of the chat who saw that, they come in every now and again. They'd be like, "So Sims again today?" like as like a joke. I'd be like, "No, never again. Fuck that shit. It's fucking awful." But I watch people play it, right, and it kind of reminds me of when we were younger because when we first got our first computers and stuff, we got Sims Vacation. You remember that game was like one of the first Sims games, right? And we
Mhm.
started playing that game, and it was like totally different concept to whatever you'd been used to in the past, and you were just like, I don't know, like this is wild, this is crazy, like this is the weirdest shit ever, and it was kind of cool. But then the novelty wore off as soon as any other game came out. So it's like,
Anything else.
yeah, it's just like, oh, another shooting game. See ya. Like,
Yep.
they're like, you know what I mean? It's just that was the way it went. So I noticed when you play games and stuff on your channel now, you tend to
Mhm.
stick to games that are group games and stuff like that. You get to play with friends. Do you do that on purpose so you can like play with other people, or do you prefer story games and stuff like that?
Really, it's kind of both. It's I'll be wanting to play something, and then someone will message me, "Hey, why don't you play this with me?" And I'm like, "Okay, that sounds good."
Yeah.
There's really it's whatever comes across at the moment. If no one's messaging me, then I'll jump on something for me.
Yeah.
But normally, when someone else messages, I'm like, "Sounds good."
Yeah. Nice.
Almost every game sounds good except for a few.
Yeah. I tried watching you play. What game did I watch you play? One of the first times I came to your channel, you were playing The Forest, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
The game was interesting.
Yeah, you watched us the ending of it.
Yeah. I was like, I'm glad I didn't play it myself. It wasn't really my thing. I think, I mean, the other person I know who plays it is Ken, who's the guy who I do the podcast with on Sundays. He
Oh,
plays The
okay.
Forest like every stream pretty much because he's like into the building aspect of it. So like,
Oh, see, I wasn't into that part of it.
yeah, I don't like it. Like I watched him play it or I watched you play it and I was just like, I'm kind of glad I didn't because I was like, I don't feel like I feel like it was a bit of a waste of time. Like, especially
Yeah.
that ending was trash.
That was horrible.
Sorry to any Forest fans, but like it was just not. It
Yeah,
was
it was
definitely
so
not for
bad.
me. I was fucking bored. I was like, this is not okay.
Yeah. It's like, I love the fighting part, but other than that, it's like, I kinda just acted like a dumbass the whole time.
Hmm.
Everyone else is like, "Oh, we need this to build," and you got me doing something stupid on the side.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I first found your channel. I believe. Let me think. I think Applo sent me to your channel.
Mm.
I think, or maybe I found you through CrowFam. I can't remember. One or
I
the
think it was
other.
Applo, cause
Yeah.
cause me and Applo played the Forest together a lot.
Yeah, so I followed him through someone else, and then he put me onto your channel because he was like,
Mm.
"You guys should check this person out," as he does, and I was just like,
Oh,
"Okay,
yeah.
I'll check them out." A lot of the channels he says, "Oh, check this out, check that." I do, and I'll spend like maybe 30 minutes watching, and if it's not riveting, I'll just won't watch again. But like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so I think that's the thing about Twitch too. Like, you've got to know like there is so many channels.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's millions of people on there. And like
Yeah,
if you don't find what you're looking for on one channel, go find another channel. Like that's
exactly.
the crazy part. People tend to just go to one channel and stay in that channel forever. And then just so
Yeah.
it's like their little box. You know what I mean? Where they're
Mhm.
like I'm in my safe space. I don't want to leave here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whereas me, I kind of like venture around. Like I was like I'll watch someone like yourself, and then you'll be like, "We're gonna rate this person." And I'm like, "Okay," and I follow the raid, and I go watch that person,
Mhm.
and then that person rates someone else. We're gonna rate this person. We'll go watch this person, and it's
Yeah.
like I'll go on a raid train like all day. You know what I mean? I might even like just leave
Yeah.
it tabbed, go out, do something, come back, and someone else's channel is up, and I'm like, "Oh, who the fuck is this?" Like, let's go say hello to this person. Like, I kind of like doing that. That's kind of the glory of the raid train. Like, it's really interesting to
Mhm.
find new people that
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not, you know, and by the sometimes I've done this thing right, which is really cool, where the raid train goes full circle. So
Oh, and
like
it comes back.
it comes back to the person who started, and I'm just like, this is like weird shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I've
that.
not had that happen yet.
That's happened a few times where because like I said, I don't sleep much, so I'll be like
Mhm.
watching one person, watch the next person, next person, next person, and then I'll like maybe go and like make some food, come back, and I'm like, oh, I'm back here again. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's the weirdest thing, but that's the glory of it too, because you don't meet new people unless you make the effort to go and meet new people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but I always say to people in my community, it's like, go and watch the people you want to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to watch everyone. You know,
No.
if you watch that person, you don't enjoy their shit, you don't have to go back. But if you watch
Exactly.
someone you really enjoy their stuff, you should stay and you should support that person.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it should be about, because, you know, you can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah.
You're not a robot.
No,
Like,
not at all.
I used to try and have like 10 people up at the same time and try and like engage with all of them, and it was just impossible. So
Yeah, I tried that a couple times, like, nope.
tend to just stick to like maybe 2 now and just watch them properly, rather than like, you know how people come into like channels and they're like, "Hey, I'm lurking." It's just
Mhm.
like, oh, I'd rather you not. You know what I mean? I'd rather you
I want
watch.
someone to talk to.
That's what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
we get on and we like to talk to people. Like, people come in and like start chatting to you,
Mhm.
and you're like, I actually really enjoy this conversation, rather than like, you know, yeah, the lurks help with the numbers, but it doesn't really matter if you're talking to no one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather 2 people to talk to than 10 people just staring at me doing nothing.
Exactly.
That's why I always talk to you when I come into your chat, because it's like, it's easy to just have a bit of a laugh. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, especially you playing Fortnite is the laugh.
Oh, gosh. It all depends on who I'm playing with.
Yeah, true. He's like, carry me.
It's either carry me or I'm trying to kill you myself.
Yeah, 100%. No, I appreciate that. That's how I met Drew. Like, we had a little laugh.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's funny as fuck. Like, I wonder if he will come in and watch, actually, because we did tell him it was live, but he was excited for it. He's been talking about it as well. So hopefully
Has
doesn't
he?
miss it. Yeah. Funny guy. When When you say you're living in Georgia, right? So, you said you lived in other places. Whereabouts have you lived otherwise in Georgia?
Well, I was born in Kentucky,
Hmm.
and then I moved to Tennessee, then I moved to Florida. Now I'm in Georgia.
Just Republican state hopping, or
Yeah,
pretty much.
it feels like it. I kept going south for the longest time, and then I found out how much it costs to live on the beach, so I kind of went up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, Florida would be getting more and more expensive now because I think more and more people are moving there. So,
Yeah,
or from what I've
I
heard,
loved it. I
yeah.
absolutely love living there, but to afford it,
Mm. I hear the weather's good in Florida.
oh yeah,
Never been there.
it's
I should make an effort to go there. I've been meaning to get
definitely.
back to the States. Like I was supposed to go the end of this year, but obviously COVID and all this other bullshit. I'm just trying to like
Yeah.
organize funding for that because I had all this money saved and then COVID and then like all the money went down the
Mhm.
drain. So hopefully we get back to that point and I can actually travel again because I'd love
Yeah.
to head over there again and hang out with some people. That'd be cool. Yeah. Um, what was Kentucky like growing up?
Um, very country.
Very country.
Very, very country. So I
Yeah.
grew up in a tiny, tiny town.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And literally absolutely nothing to do. I mean, I guess that's why I got obsessed with video games.
Yeah, 'cause it gave you something to do.
Yeah, because I mean, literally, I think in the town I grew up in, there was 3 stores and a gas station. That's it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you had nothing. No fast food, nothing.
Oh my god. I can't even imagine it because I grew up in a city.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like where I grew up is like 10 minutes from the center of Sydney. So
Oh,
like I like have always been surrounded by traffic and people for my entire life. So
over there you got nobody.
that's crazy. That I don't can't even imagine that. I actually it's equivalent to a lot of places in Australia when you go inland. I think
Mhm.
because country towns in Australia are very, very close knit. Like there's a lot of people in a very small place. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's like everybody knows everybody when you go to a country town in Australia. But if you're in Sydney, it's very much like New York. So like it's
Okay.
like people walk past each other and don't even fucking say hello. Like it's very similar to that sort of feeling in Sydney as it
Yeah.
is. I noticed that when I was in Manhattan.
Mm.
I noticed that Sydney and Manhattan are not that different. It's just the
Mm.
amount of people. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, I know what you mean.
obviously Manhattan has like 20 million
A
people
lot.
just stacked on top
Yeah.
of each other. Whereas like
Mm.
in Sydney, we have a total of 8 million people in the whole city.
Oh,
Um,
shit.
but yeah, it's still a very similar feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not very friendly. It's like, look at our bridge, look at our opera house. Now fuck off.
Mhm.
100%. So when you when you're streaming and stuff, like how often are you streaming now? Do you do it and do you do it for like, just the pleasure of doing it or are you doing it for other reasons?
For the pleasure of it. I mean, I love playing my games, and I love also having my chat where I can just talk and goof off with.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm serious all day at work. I want to act stupid when I get home, and I love anyone who acts stupid with me.
Yeah. So it's just for laughs pretty much.
Yeah, it's
Just giving it
fun.
a whirl. No, I like that. That's cool. That's cool. It's yeah, it's always nice to connect with people.
Oh
Especially
yeah.
yeah. With I mean, let me think. With the video games you're playing, it's mostly like people orientated, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Nice. um, what is behind you?
That is my chameleon's terrarium.
Your chameleon's terrarium.
Yes. Do you want to see her?
What possessed you to buy that?
I love reptiles. I'm huge on reptiles.
Yeah. Yeah, get out,
Yes.
show us. I need to see this.
Oh, she's a baby.
Okay.
Here you go. Oops. Popped one of your branches. Wake up. There you go.
Oh my god.
Where are you going?
See,
It's
of
my
all the
little girl.
pets that I've ever seen, that is probably one of the most random ones I've ever seen.
Oh, you haven't saw Jack.
It was Jack.
He's my Nile monitor.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I told you I love reptiles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
This is my
cute.
newest. She's only 3 months old.
Yeah. How big do they get?
She'll get up to about the size of my hand.
Oh wow. So obviously I know nothing about reptiles. So
Which, oddly enough, I'm a huge animal person, period, but reptiles it just has my weak spot.
okay, why is that?
I don't know, really. It's just like I've really thought about it, and the only thing I could really figure out is like when I was little, my mom hated snakes,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean hated them to the point of she taught me how to kill black snakes, and
Right.
that was my job.
Okay. So you're the one that had to do it.
Oh yeah, she didn't go near 'em.
Yeah.
So she always sent me outside to kill them, and it's just like I always felt so bad doing it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And so now it's just like kind of bloomed into my obsession.
Yeah, you're trying to repent to the reptiles.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm sorry for killing so many of you. Here's some food.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. We have a lot of snakes around this area. I mean, as you can imagine, Australia is just full
Mm.
of them. Like there is no lack of reptiles in Australia. I can guarantee you
Oh.
that. Like if you go up north, there's crocodiles everywhere. Like they're just like it's very similar to like the alligator problem in Florida. Like
Mhm.
it's like that when you go like northern Australia. They're everywhere, and they're fucking huge. Like, they
See,
will
I have the
eat you.
opposite of normal reaction. I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, no. Well, this is the thing. Like, you don't. They're very fast, so you
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
You don't go near them because
You don't fuck with them.
for something that weighs like a ton, the thing can move
Mhm.
very fast on land. So you don't want to go too close because, I mean, I remember I went with my family up north and we went to see some like in the zoo and stuff, right? Which is
Mhm.
normal. And they feed them and stuff. The sound that their jaws make when they smack down on something is like fucking insane. Like it scares the shit out of you. Like it's it's just like whoa, I don't want to get in trouble with that thing. Like that thing will fuck me up. Like you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I think I don't know, I'm just so amazed by it.
yeah, basically a
I think
dinosaur.
yeah, they're such a beautiful creature. I mean, I know I would never wanna own one or anything, but
Mm.
just everything about them to me is beautiful.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I found that yeah, with the snakes and stuff around here, like there's a breeding season for snakes here. So like obviously I think it's usually springtime that they go a bit nuts. The brown snakes go a bit nuts. Now, a brown snake's like one of the deadliest snakes in the world, and they're everywhere. Um, like sort of like northern like areas of here.
Mm.
And you don't want to get in the way of a brown snake during a breeding season because it'll fucking kill you. Like it is, and I say that like people are like that's a known fact. It is like those things have enough venom to kill a person in an hour. So it's
Mhm.
like you don't want to get too close to them because they're fucking angry, you know?
Yeah, it's
Um,
kinda like the copperheads here.
yeah, yeah. I saw a rattlesnake when I was in Arizona. That scared the shit
Oh,
out of
yeah.
me. The sound that it made is
Mhm.
actually so loud.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
I didn't expect it to be that loud. Like we were quad biking in Arizona, and I literally just were quad biking and we saw a whole bunch of cool things. There was like road runners and like
Mm.
like just heaps of like shitty Joshua trees everywhere. And then we went past and there was this rattlesnake just hanging out and we stopped and it just started like shaking and it was so loud. And I'm like, and it coils up in like a little spring and shit.
Mhm, that
Like,
means back off.
yeah, it's like, no, let's not go near that one.
Yeah.
But what are you supposed to do in that situation? Like, say you're like walking down a track or something, you come across one, you just have to turn around.
Yeah, go away.
Like, are they proper deadly or?
Copperheads, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're poisonous and We have some rattlers around here, but it's not that much.
Yeah. I mean, I hear a lot of people like I have a lot of friends in California that are always talking about like mountain lions. Is
Yeah,
that
I ain't
like
got none of this.
is that like a real thing or are they just like talking shit?
No, there is.
Yeah.
There really is. Yeah.
'Cause you see in Canada with all the bears in people's backyards and shit, but like you don't like I don't know,
Hmm.
like it's kind of comical as anything.
Oh no, when I lived in Tennessee, I saw bears all the time.
Really? Don't go that
Like
far.
I lived in the mountains though,
Okay, right.
so
S-
it was bears, and I saw bobcats quite a bit too.
Really? I don't even know what a
No,
bobcat looks like.
if they look like I don't really know how to describe it. It's like a giant cat size of a big dog,
Okay.
but they will destroy you.
Oh my god. See, they say that Australia's dangerous. As America sounds a lot worse.
Not really. It's just like don't go like if you're in the cities and shit, you ain't got nothing to worry about. It's just like going off in the country doing stupid stuff.
Yeah. So what's have you got any crazy animal encounter stories?
Oddly enough, I did in Florida with a gator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because even though I love reptiles, I'm not stupid, so I know the ones to stay away from.
Yeah. So what
And
happened?
went for a picnic and sitting on my car and literally is about to go to the movies. And I said, oddly enough, we had pizza with us.
Hmm.
And the person I was with was wanting to feed the gator. I'm like, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm over here trying to feed birds.
Yeah, because birds
That-
won't kill you.
yeah. The gator literally that he's going up to passes him, doesn't care about him at all, and full speed directly to me.
Oh really?
Yeah, I ran and jumped on top of my car.
Oh shit.
It's because luckily my car is like maybe 10, 15 feet from me.
Hmm.
And as soon as I saw it coming up the hill, I was gone. And literally it came beside the car and just sat there. And I'm like, we're here till it decides to leave. I ain't getting down.
Yeah. Fuck that.
But yeah, it walked away. And literally as soon as I started to come back down, it came right back up the hill. I'm like, what the hell?
Just really wanted you.
For some reason. And
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So note to self: gators don't eat pizza.
Yeah, no,
Not
that
interested.
surely, or just wanted my piece, I guess.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck. I see a cat behind you as well.
Oh, yeah. That is Neo. That has turned over my laundry basket.
Yeah, it sounds like a
And
cat thing to
Xena.
do.
Oh,
Mm,
yeah, she's an asshole.
yeah. Xena
She
is what type of dog?
a Doberman.
Doberman. Yeah, thought so. Very cool.
Yeah. The cat's here because of the dog.
Okay. Why is that?
uh, got the cat as a kitten, didn't plan on keeping it, just planning on finding it a home,
Hmm.
and it became Xena's best friend.
Oh, okay.
And it literally keeps her happy, so
Right. I can see she's up
this
on the thing.
Neo, get down. I know, you're just gonna stare at me.
Yeah.
You don't listen to nothing.
Yeah. My cat's the opposite. My cat listens to me, but just likes. I think she just likes to fuck with me sometimes. Like she'll look at me and know exactly what I'm saying, but then just like do the opposite just to spite me. I think that happens a lot. It's just she just feel like staring at me like, are you sure? Like, are
Mhm.
you 100% on that? Like, you really want to test me? Like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, no,
cats.
that's my dog.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
A lot of energy I can see though.
Oh, constantly.
Hmm.
And she's very obsessed with me.
Like possessive obsessed or like just like,
Needs to be with me 24/7.
oh, okay. Yeah, I get that with too with the cat. Like some sort of like separation anxiety or something.
Oh, she has that bad.
Hmm.
Like, she's perfect little dog ever as long as I'm here.
Hmm.
As soon as I walk out the door, if I have not doggy proof the house, I come home to a nightmare.
Shit. Shit. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
good. All right. Um, what is that behind you over there? That thing on the wall?
Jack Skeleton.
What?
Jack Skeleton.
Oh, what's that from?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas. I never seen it.
What?
Yeah.
It's a Disney movie, but it's the best Disney movie.
Okay. That's cool. Have you when it comes to your Twitch channel and stuff, do you have any future plans for it? Like, are you gonna be doing anything special? Like, any like anything exciting? Like,
At the moment, no. I enjoy playing the games, and I think the only thing I've been doing here lately is that stupid Bean Boozled challenge.
oh yeah, that sucks.
But don't do it.
No, I've seen people
'Cause
do it, and I've just decided
oh
against that.
gosh. I'm doing it and I'm only still doing it because I told them I would do it until the box is empty.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
fuck that. What is it? What's the worst one you've had? Is it like
Oh, bandage.
bandage?
Yes.
What does? How do they get the taste of bandage in a bean?
I think they just put is the worst stuff together in that one little jelly bean.
That's
It-
disgusting.
oh, you have no idea.
Is there a VOD for that? I need to go watch.
Oh, there's clips.
Oh yeah, I have to see that.
Because what
I
was it? One night welding hitman had me eat like 5 of them back to back, and I think three, 2 or 3 ended up being the old bandage.
Oh yuck.
And by the time I was done, all you could see is me gagging because I was oh
Can you imagine the person who had to like make the flavors and had to test it?
yeah.
Like, you imagine that person. That person must have like no taste buds left. Like, they're
No,
like
they can't.
their entire job is to make the bad beans, and then like you just all day you're just like trying them after you make them. You're like, "This is a good one." Like, it's like,
Oh, I was
oh
drinking tequila trying to get the taste out.
yeah, wow. If you can't get the taste out with tequila, what can you do?
Yeah, I was just grabbing the bottle of tequila and straight tequila shots trying to get rid of the taste.
Oh my god, that's gross. That's fucking
Oh, it
disgusting.
was bad.
That's funny, because I remember when I first came in your channel and stuff, you always got a beer in your hand, which is fantastic, and I really vibe with it. So it's kind of weird for me now because I don't drink now, but like it was really cool at the time because I was like, oh, you're gonna have beer and have a chat, like like, so that was
Yeah.
kind of like the way I gravitated towards your channel because it was like, I don't know, common interest,
Yeah.
bit of banter. It was good, it's good shit. Like, it was interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Which
the
I've
people.
slowed down now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though, right? Like, you don't. I find with the whole drinking thing, like, I found like I've always been a big drinker, like, always,
Yeah,
for like
same.
my entire life, and I started early, and then I've just like, it got progressively more insane the more like the older I got, and I only stopped drinking because, one, my health was like on the decline in a way that I was like, okay, it is the drinking. Like, it was very obvious, you
Yeah.
know. And I was thinking to myself, like, then two, like, I don't have any chill, if that's the word for it.
Mhm.
I have no moderation skills. So like, I can't just have one or have two.
Yeah.
I have to have like 10, because
Mhm.
because I'm just that kind of person. So like, this is why the same reason I don't do drugs is because one, it'd be very expensive, and
Oh,
two,
yeah.
I would never be able to just like have some and not have the rest. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so I don't venture down that path, and I haven't ventured down that path in a very long time because like, I'm just like, my body could not fucking deal with that shit. Um,
Yeah.
so then when it comes with the alcohol, I was like, said to myself, I was like, you know what? You've just got to give it up altogether. Like, I thought I've tried a few times to stop drinking and I said to myself, let's drink this much or just think this much. It never lasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just find an excuse to like, whatever, I'll just drink. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, it's my choice, my body, whatever. Like, you find an excuse no matter what, right? So,
Mhm.
so for me, it was, I have to just stop altogether, which is,
Mm.
it's kind of like, it's really good for me. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it's kind of awkward now in situations of social stuff. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was
I can see that.
I was at the pub last night, watching the football with a couple of friends from stream, and we were all watching the game, and everyone's drinking, and I'm just sitting there like drinking coffee. So it's like it's just a weird concept because I'm like not used to it yet,
Mhm.
um, and also not used to the fact that I can drive after 6. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it'd be
I
like
know what
7,
you
it'd be like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I need to go get something from the shops. And I think, and
Mm.
usually I wouldn't be able to drive because I'd be drunk. And then I think, but then I'm like, wait, I don't drink anymore. I can drive. I'm like, fuck. And so like,
Yeah.
I'd be driving around at 9, 10 at night doing stuff, and I don't
Mhm.
feel like, I'm gonna get in trouble, or I'm not
Yeah.
feeling like, how many drinks I had, can I drive, what am I gonna do, like blah blah blah. And like I got pulled into like a random breath test the other day. Like we
Mm.
have those side breath test, like side the road breath tests, guys. So like they pull you
Okay.
in. They'll pull you in as you drive past and check you for alcohol. Like just
Oh.
like the police will set up like random testing
Yeah.
stations, and because Australians can't be trusted, they're all alcoholics. So like we can't be trusted to do anything. This is the same reason why we don't have firearms, because we can't be trusted. And so like we get pulled into random breath tests, and like the guy goes, "Have you had anything to drink today?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "It's like you sound surprised." I'm like, "Yeah, I haven't drank in like a month and a half." And he's just like, "Good for you." And he tested me, and he's like, "Yeah, see ya." Like, you're the easiest person I've had to deal with today. Like
Yeah.
it was super funny because like usually I'd be coming home from work or something, had a few drinks before we left the office, and we come past and I'd be like, "Oh my god, am I gonna get through this? Like, they're gonna
Mhm.
ping me, like whatever." Because our blood alcohol is less for driving than it is over there.
Oh,
So
really?
ours is 0.05. Whereas like I think it's 0.08 in most places I went in
Yeah.
America. Yeah, so that was kind of funny. Like it was a bit random, but different experience. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it though, because it's like for me, I didn't realize how much I was drinking
No.
until it was like I went to a stream one night and I was actually out of beer and it was too late to go get any because here at a certain time they stopped selling.
Me too, yeah.
And it was just like someone went in the stream and was like, "You're not drinking?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm out." And even though I wanted one, I really wasn't thinking. And they're like, "I've never saw you without a beer." And I'm like, "Holy shit, they're right."
Yeah. Yeah,
it,
it's
it took me
true.
back for a minute because I'm like, no one's ever saw me without a beer.
Yeah, I was going back through clips um probably a couple of weeks ago. I was going back, so I was just like editing through clips and going through old VODs and stuff. Literally the same
Mm.
thing. Like there's not one point on any VOD or any clip that I'm not have a beer next to me,
Yeah.
because I always put my beer like on the table next to me, and
Mhm.
like everyone can see what I've got, and so it's like it's always been a staple of everything that I've done.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird now that, because I even had an emote for it, like, you know what I mean? So like I've taken it out because I'm like, well, we're not going to be doing that anymore. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
taken away one aspect of the stream, but
Mhm.
there's other things that can be added to
Yeah.
compensate for it. You know what I mean? So
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be it's gonna be a learning experience, an interesting process, but we'll see how we go. I
Mhm.
guess, see what happens.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember like my entire trip when I went to America was based around where I wanted to go and have a drink. Like, you know, it's
That's been most of my vacations.
yeah. It's just like, well, how can I like the first place I need to go is where I can get drunk. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's just like now it's a little bit different. Like, it's weird. It's gonna change my entire outlook on life, I think, in some ways. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe pay more concentration to things now.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah, no,
good.
I just cut back. I still drink. I didn't quit completely. It's just mine's
Mm.
kind of I've at least got it down to just the weekends.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said. A lot of people have moderation.
Yeah.
A lot of people can do that. Like me now, instead of drinking, every time I feel like a drink, I just go to the gym,
Mm.
which is my replacement. It's It's good, but
Mhm.
it's tiring.
Yeah.
Like it's I think I've stacked on like maybe 4 kilos, just going every day pretty much. So, but
Oh, wow.
I'm enjoying it though. It's and it's a different way to meet people. Like you find, obviously you're going to meet the other side of the spectrum of people.
Mhm.
Like, used to spend my Saturday nights at a bar talking to a bunch of idiots, or
Yeah.
like talking to a whole bunch of like old blokes who are just like betting on the races, or throwing
Mhm.
money at stupid shit and having a laugh. And now I'm spending it with a whole bunch of people at the gym who are doing the exact opposite. So it's like the weirdest lifestyle change I've ever had.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's like, the fuck.
It's a whole nother world.
Yeah, exactly. No, so we'll try. We'll try our best. We'll try our best.
Mm.
Mm. Um, I mean, in relation to the extra bits and stuff that we've talked about, especially with Twitch and gaming and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. Um, who's the person that you like to go watch the most? Like, what's your go to channel?
It's kinda I go to Sparkly Pants a lot. She's not
Sparkly
a big
Pants.
streamer, but,
I've met her.
like,
She's cool.
yeah, I love her dearly, and she pays so much attention to her chat,
Mm, yeah.
and I love being in there. Another one's Kid with ADD.
Okay. That's a
He's
branding.
yeah, he's got a great and he spells it odd too.
Okay.
But, like, he's a goofball, and literally, like, we call each other asshole buddies. Because he's an asshole and so am I.
Yeah, right.
But it's like both of them, I go in their channel and it's nothing but good vibes, and literally, oddly enough, neither one of them drink either. It's I really enjoy the chat and being with them because they always have something weird going on.
Yeah. Do you think it's better, as someone who's a streamer? Do you think it's better to like engage every single conversation in your chat, or is it better to just focus more on the game and then relate to people in and out of chat?
It depend think it depends on the type of streamer. For me, I really like engaging with my chat
Hmm.
because most of my games are me goofing off anyways.
Yeah. So you don't take it too serious. You're just being silly
Yeah,
and enjoying the
I'm having
company.
fun. I mean, crap, we die in Fortnite because I'm blowing up the building that my teammates in half the time, or I shockwaved them into an ambush.
Yeah, we have a few people like that who just throw like random fire grenades at the floor all the time, and then we all
Yeah,
just like end up dying. It's pretty funny.
yeah, pretty much. Literally, we've had nights where we compete who can kill the other person the most. It's actually hard because you can't kill each other in Fortnite, so you have to get creative with it.
Yeah, just side damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, that's pretty cool. I mean, like, so when you're watching other people like stream and stuff, like Sparkly and stuff,
Mhm.
are you taking away things that you can do as well? Like, are you learning from that experience and watching other people, or is there any other like bigger streamers you might relate to more that you watch, or you just watch like your
I
mates?
really don't get into the big streamers.
Mm,
It's like I've went into some and I try watching them, I just can't really get into it.
okay.
But it's like, because I think I like that interaction with people, you know?
Yeah.
And normally the big streamers got so much going on and so many people chatting that they really can't do a whole lot of interaction, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I yeah. This is the thing too. Like, if your chat is moving fast, like a lot of the
Mhm.
bigger streamers are and stuff, they still manage to find a way to interact. I think.
Yeah,
Like, you'll
a lot of
notice.
them do.
Yeah, you'll notice that there will be other ways that they can interact with their chat and get to know people. Like, because you recognize the same faces.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Based on
Yeah,
either the color of the name or like what they're saying or
yeah.
what they're doing on about and stuff like that. So I think if you get the familiar faces in there all the time, you're always going to remember those people, regardless of whether you have however many people in the chat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like, and I think pretty much somehow I get nicknames in everyone's chat.
You just develop
It's
them.
yeah, it's always something weird too.
I can imagine.
It's like in Apples, if I'm ever in there, he always calls me honey.
Honey.
And it started over competition.
Okay, tell us about it.
He said he could call people honey more than he could call me honey more than I could call him honey and get away with it before anyone said anything.
Oh wow.
I'm like, I'm a girl from the South. We call everyone honey. I can call you honey 500 times and no one's gonna say nothing.
Yeah. So you won that competition then?
It kind of just kept going, and now it's what it is.
Just developed into something real weird.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucked.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Nah, that's good to have those kind of like relationships with people though. Like
Yeah.
and just like vibe out. Like Toko in the chat right now. She
Mhm.
me and her we've been playing GTA roleplay. And it's probably like I haven't streamed it yet, but like it's probably the funniest shit that I've ever played. Like
Yeah.
we spend the whole time just like, you know, making shit up, like just
Mhm.
you know, just trash talking and like, you know,
Yeah.
I spent the last, God, I think it was like nearly an hour and a half, just trying to like sell a car to someone. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Oh, I know completely what you mean.
It's fun.
Literally.
It's a lot of fun, and I'm
Oh,
very
yeah.
keen to. I think I'll chuck up a stream for that like next week sometime. We'll have a bit of fun with it, but it's
Oh yeah, you got to.
it's super silly. It's super silly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. Like and it's an escape too. Like again, that's what games are all about. But like it's
Mhm.
it's meeting a whole bunch of new people you didn't know before.
Yeah.
And you know, developing a new community of people. It's good. It's really good.
I don't know. I fully get that because last night, literally, me and Justin was playing. What was it? What is the name of that game? Good lord, we beat it in like no time. A Way Out,
Okay.
and literally one part I was laughing so hard I was crying, and I couldn't even play the game.
Not really.
Yeah, it was stupid. Me driving a motorcycle, and it wasn't going well.
Nice.
And him talking shit just makes me laugh. So we literally got to the point of me horse laughing and the game going to hell.
That's usually how it starts and finishes.
Yeah.
I like that. You're more of like a horror game person or a shooting person, or what do you like the
I
best?
love my horror games.
Yeah. I've
But
seen
I
you
love
play
everything
DVD a
good
lot as
horror.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just I love horror games, but also I love everything that has to do with like horror movies, everything horror.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's something that's always attracted me. And I just love horror movies, horror games, anything like that.
So you
I
like
believe now. Huh?
are you like the the person who goes into like the typical slasher movie, or are you like this psychological thriller sort of thing?
Oh, I love both.
Yeah.
Yes. If psychological, I need a good story.
Of course.
If there's a good story, I love it. And the Thrasher, which here in the past few years, it's kind of been a letdown.
Yeah, true. There hasn't been many good ones.
No.
It was more of
And
a
I'm
90s
chasing this
thing,
scare.
right?
Yeah.
I feel.
And I think I've watched so many scary movies now, I just kind of chase the scare because literally I watch them by myself and I
Yeah.
no longer get scared. So it's like I want to find something that scares me again.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think a lot of people like it for the rush too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So it's like what would be like top 2, I would say. Top 2
Oh, Resident Evil is my top go to every time.
zombie movies.
And
Yeah.
Freddy, and I'd have to say the first Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street.
That was a good movie. You know.
Freddy is the first one that ever scared me.
Oh yeah, I remember being scared as shit from that. Like, and it was a good cast for that movie, wasn't it? It was Johnny Depp
Oh
in that
yeah.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good movie. I feel like the reason it was so scary was the concept of it.
Yeah. You could
Like,
never escape.
no, you can't escape. You're not even when you're sleeping. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's fucked. if you think
Yeah.
about it. Like, and that's the crazy. It's cool though. Like at the same time, like
Mhm.
it's. But I think the people that were discovering horror movies back in the 80s and 90s, they were starting to develop some really really crazy concepts that were going to actually scare
Mhm.
shit out of people,
Oh
because
yeah.
that was sort of like the time when special effects were coming into movies too. Like, a
Mhm.
lot of the older movies were really basic, really simplistic. There wasn't a lot of like special effects. And then the 90s sort of just the early days of CGI sort
Mhm.
of really started to fuck with people a bit, I think.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I watched the Alien movies,
Oh, I
and
love
like
those.
I that freaked me the fuck out. Like I was like, because I love sci-fi movies, right? Sci-fi movies is
Mhm.
like my thing. Like I watch all sorts of sci-fi. And
Yeah.
sci-fi is always the reason I love sci-fi so much is you never know which direction it's going to go in. So
Mhm.
like, because it's literally an open interpretation of whatever's going on. Like, so like they can they can go from one simple concept and turn it into something completely out of this world, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know
Oh yeah.
you don't know how you're going to get there. And this is what I love about sci-fi. With horror movies, it's kind of like, you know, the main aim of the horror movie is to scare the shit out of you. Do
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like that's their goal.
Yeah.
If a
Mhm.
horror movie manages to scare the shit out of you, it's a great horror movie, right?
Oh yeah.
But
If
in
it
a
scares me, I love it.
in a sci-fi movie, if it confuses the shit out of you, that's a good sci-fi movie. I feel
Yeah.
like regardless of like, the cool like futuristic kind of bits and pieces of it,
Mhm.
you always if it confuses you to the point where you're like, I don't know what's going on. That's
Yeah.
I feel like that is a good sci-fi movie, 100%. To
Oh
say
yeah.
it's it's the same with books and stuff. Like, like if you
Mhm.
can read into a novel and you start it and you're like, I know how this is going to end. It's not a very good book, is it?
No.
But if it can trick the fuck out of you, you'd be like, oh my god, I don't know where this was going. Like that's a good book. Um, so it depends. I mean, it depends what you like, but um,
Mm.
that's good choices. I like those choices. Very good. I'm a big Silence of the Lambs fan. I like that
Oh, I
movie.
love those.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. That was my favorite of all time.
Was
Like,
it?
yeah, by far. When it comes
That was a
to
good one.
psychological thrillers, that was definitely my favorite, because
Yeah.
just I think just based on the actor characters, like
Mm.
they did it so well. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
Like, regardless of how good the story is, like that was, Anthony Hopkins scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like he played that character so well, it actually scared me, like proper. I was like,
That's what that's the movie that made me like him.
I forgot he was acting. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when he starts talking, like really in depth about
Mhm.
like, how he eats people and shit. I was like,
Yes.
I am petrified of this guy. And I felt like he was a real character, like a real person.
Mhm.
But like it was just an actor, and it was just like it didn't feel like that though.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of movies nowadays don't touch on that as much when it comes to acting
Mm-mm.
ability.
No, they don't.
They're not
Nowhere near.
like they're not as captivating because
No, it's kinda
it's
like you remember, Jack Nicholson in The Shining?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, the level of crazy he looked in that movie was believable.
That's right. Because he like
He
engulfed the role like and
Oh,
became
he
that person.
did.
You know what I mean? So he like this, and when I say acting has become easier, it does. I'm not saying that it's easier because it's an easier career to get into. What I'm saying is
No,
this is easier because a lot of the actors back in the day had no special effects around them to make it look pretty. So
exactly.
they were the main screen. They were the
Yeah.
ones who had to sell it. You know,
Mhm.
when
They
it
had to go in debt.
when it comes to characters now, like Marvel characters and stuff, for example, the Marvel character, the story behind the Marvel character sells the character, not the actor that's making that
Right.
character. I
Yeah.
feel as a person who watches it, right? I
Yeah.
know the story of the character. I'm intrigued on that character because I like the storyline of the character, not because of the
Mhm.
actor playing it. Whereas like those old movies, when you have actors start talking and you engage with
Mhm.
them, like as on a personal level, it's like, wow, like this person's really got this role. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I love that concept. Um,
Yeah.
I
Which I have
mean,
a weird concept with actors too, though.
what's that? Why is that?
Because everyone says it's weird, but I no one's proved me wrong.
Okay.
The ugliest actors are the best.
You reckon?
Mhm.
I mean, well, that's it's also in the eye of the beholder a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, but okay, that's what I was, because I can't say like what I think is good looking or what someone else. Like what they say is on top on Men's Magazine, sexiest man of the year and all that.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, to me, the ones that are nowhere near that list are the best actors.
Okay.
Because
So who?
literally now, if
Go
you
on.
think like Brad Pitt,
Right.
everyone loves Brad Pitt. He's so good looking, whatever. But what's the latest movie you say he was absolutely amazing in the role?
Yeah, I guess what you're saying.
You don't have to try.
Hmm.
They want him because he's Brad Pitt.
Yeah. No, I get that. I understand that. I mean, that could be said with James Bonds, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's your favorite James Bond?
Don't like James Bond.
You don't like James Bond?
Everyone hates me when I say that. I just don't.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, I was always a big James Bond fan because my grandfather used to watch them like all the time. And so we used
Mm.
to go over and like watch the latest one with him. And like when I say the latest one, it was like whatever one he was watching.
Yeah.
And so it's like I always thought Roger Moore was great. Like
Mm.
because of like how simple the character was. Like he just fit the role that he was made to do. Like it was just he was
Yeah.
made for that role, like 100%. And I really
Oh, yeah.
enjoyed watching him in that. Um Maya says Pierce Brosnan. I think Pierce Brosnan was like the comedic Bond. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he had all the classic catchphrases. Like that's
Mm.
where I feel like, you know how like, you know, Sean Connery started the catchphrases, but they weren't that compelling. Whereas like
Yeah.
when Pierce Brosnan said a catchphrase, you believed it. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like, and he would always say something the most corniest shit in the world, and you didn't know whether to laugh like or
Yeah.
not. Like it was like I'm
It's
trying
one
to
of
take
those,
this
huh?
seriously. You know what I mean? They're like, what
Mhm.
did you just fucking say? Oh, I loved it. It was great. That's one of my favorite series of films. I think Daniel Craig's a fantastic
Mm.
Bond, but and he's a fantastic actor. But he's really taken that whole series in a different direction.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's a little bit more. It's less like I'm a secret spy. More, you know, I'm here to fuck up someone's day, sort of
Yeah.
situation. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I think it's more like military style that he's brought it into than it was like, you know, secret gadgets and shit. Because they
Yeah.
went away from all the gadget stuff, you know, which
Yeah.
is kind of like weird because James Bond was always gadgets, you know. I remember like the DB9 with the machine guns on it and shit.
Mhm.
Do you know?
Now they're just trying to whatever is popular right now.
Yeah, they're just going with the whatever people like, I guess. But yeah, I thought that
Mhm.
was a bit weird. Um, Maya says Daniel Craig is fantastic as early Bond. Oh, that makes sense. I believe it.
Mm.
I believe it. Yeah. I don't think, yeah, like when you say Marvel characters could ruin it, I don't think that's, I just think that most people know the story of Marvel. Like, you know what I mean? Like most
Yeah.
kids that grew up with that shit, they know how Spider-Man came to be. They know how the Hulk came to be. They know all the origin stories of everything. I don't think
Mhm.
anyone could really ruin that for anyone. I think it's just more like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a money making exercise at this point,
Yeah, that's all it is now.
which is annoying because I'm a massive Marvel fan. I always have
Mhm.
been, and I'm the kind of person that would like cry in a Marvel movie. Like that's me. But
See, Hulk, I love Marvel, but some of them killed me. Like Hulk destroyed me
yeah,
because I've always been a Hulk fan.
yeah, I understand
And then
that.
they made his movie into like a love story. I felt like I'm like, no.
No, this is weird.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't like this.
no, I get that. I'm a massive Captain America fan.
Mm,
But I'm not a big fan of the actor. Chris,
yeah.
what's his name? Chris Evans.
Uh,
I don't like him.
no.
I don't like what he's all about. I really don't like him as a person, to be completely honest. So like, it's kind of like
Mm.
Yeah, he's the perfect fit for the movie. Don't get me wrong. He's cast as a really, really good, um, you know, role. Like it's great. It's
Yeah.
great. It's a great casting, but I don't like him personally.
Yeah.
You know, he's a bit wishy-washy when it comes to like everything in life, and so I just kind of like don't like him as a human being.
Mm.
But
I haven't looked into him enough to know
yeah,
anything
no,
about
just
him.
this is the thing. The things like I keep up with, like, a lot of local, like, oh, not local, I would say like just a lot of news stuff because I read everything.
Yeah.
I can't help myself. I'm like a dictionary, and yeah, just I don't know, just some of the things he does is a bit odd. He just seems like he doesn't seem like the kind of person I would hang out with.
Yeah.
You know.
I know what you mean.
I think the greatest casting for Marvel was Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Yeah.
I
He
think
did amazing.
that's the greatest casting, because you know what?
Mm.
I can almost guarantee that 90% of that character is just him
Yeah.
as a person, like in real life.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like he is like the rich kid, like sort of
Yeah.
persona,
I
does
could see
whatever the
that.
fuck he wants. Like,
Oh yeah.
he has a I can do this and get away with a badge for everything. I reckon he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So like I think the reason he played that character so well is because he just played himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
100%.
He comes off that way so much.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You find that though, like in a lot of roles, like a lot of people will play themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And they're the best. They're the best ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, in every movie he's ever done.
Yeah.
It's just him
He's
being
a straight
him.
up dumbass.
Yeah.
You watch anything about his real life, he's still a straight up dumbass.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
I love him. I absolutely love Jim Carrey.
He always tells you how it is too. He never fucking beats around the bush. You notice that into when he's talking in interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's always tells you exactly how he thinks. He doesn't say what you want to hear. He says what he wants to say, which is refreshing from someone
and rare
in Hollywood. Like I find a lot of actors just say whatever gets them the next role. They're not actually going to talk about what they really feel or anything like that.
Yeah.
They don't want to get cancelled.
And they don't want to get labeled as something.
I know, yeah. It's so like built into the cake on social media and stuff. It's ridiculous. Crazy. Look at all the Batmans. Yeah, like each Batman is different.
Oh gosh. What do you think of Robert Pattinson being Batman?
I haven't seen it.
Me either. I can't.
He doesn't seem like a kind of Batman that when I think Batman, I think Christian Bale.
Yes.
Like that's Batman. Do you know what I mean? Like or like Adam West. like I don't think some like skinny like, emo kid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not what I think.
Only thing I ever see when I see him is the Lover Twilight gay vampires.
That's what made him famous.
I know, and I hated Twilight.
I didn't watch it either.
I hated all those movies. So it's just like, oh, he's the little loving vampire.
Yeah, see, that's the thing too, though, right? Like, I like vampires in general. Like, I think it's a cool concept. And I've always liked vampire movies and stuff. I remember, like, one of the first vampire movies I ever watched was Van Helsing. You remember?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
That was a fantastic movie.
That was good.
And the vampires in that were like really believable. Like they were good. Like early days of CGI for that too, and it was just really enjoyable to watch. But
they were vampires.
Yeah, they were bloodsuckers. Like they were proper.
Yeah, just Twilight was
like people that were shiny. Like it was very teenage love story.
The preppy kids in school became vampires.
And that's where like Vampire Diaries and stuff came from too. Like that was like that show developed from those series of movies, like that idea and that concept. I think, to be devil's advocate, Vampire Diaries wasn't actually that bad. I didn't think it was that bad.
I can't.
Of course you can't, because it's not the show that you enjoy. But for me, like when it came to the acting side of things and the storylines and stuff, like I remember I watched it and I was like, oh, I don't hate it. Like it wasn't too bad. It wasn't something I would watch 10 times over, but I mean, I didn't mind it because I liked the actors in it, right? So like, that's the reason I started watching it in the first place, because those actors actually, I liked their like what they did.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
outside of that, like, yeah, vampire movies are touch and go. You know,
Yeah. Very.
like it only goes one of two ways: really corny and silly, or
Hmm.
really fucked up. You
Yeah.
know, like the Blades of the
Oh
movies. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like Blade was just incredibly intense and fucked, but it was really good.
I love Blade.
Whereas like you can go from that to like, you know, the most corny bullshit that
Twilight.
you can, yeah, like I mean Twilight's a perfect example. And you're like, there's two different types of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um I don't know. Like the realism side of things I think is better for vampire stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, it's very hard with a lot of movies because it's just like what I'm not into love stories. I can't do that. I don't. I just get so bored. I know what's gonna happen. You know, as soon as I see it's a love story, oh, there's something gonna happen. They're gonna get back together. The end.
Yeah, it's predictable. I mean, like look at the plot of every single romantic comedy.
Yeah.
Like it starts out as a love story, something happens that ruins it, and then they
Hmm.
go full circle and they come back at the end. It's all happiness and rainbows and fucking
Oh yeah. Woohoo.
smiles. Yeah, it's. I understand it's a feel good movie, right? But if you don't feel good
Yeah.
about it, you just feel cringe. Then just don't watch them. Like my mom is a massive romantic comedy fan. Like she's obsessed.
Mm.
Like I'll go over and she'll be watching Love Actually for the 15th time. Like that's that's her thing. Like I get that,
Yeah.
but I find it like vomit worthy because it's like
Exactly.
this is not real life. Like
No.
this is make believe. You know,
Yeah.
in the real world, you just never see that person again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
you don't like fight back and they say, "Oh, I'm so glad you fought for." No, that's
Yeah.
bullshit. You know,
They don't come
this.
running begging for you back and all that. It's like,
No,
nope, we're
no,
done.
no. It's like I brought flowers. I don't care. Fuck off. Like, like, no.
For them,
That's
give them to the neighbor.
yeah. It's not the world we live in, man. Oh, I just thought that was pretty funny. Like, silly though. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's good to dream, I guess.
I live in the real world.
Yeah, that's probably another reason why we get on pretty well is because we're very realistic people. Like
Yeah.
we're like non bullshit kind of people. Like
Yeah.
and that's the reason why I come to watch your channel because you know if you're having a shit day and I say how's your day, you're like it's shit. Like it's not like it's okay this that and the other. You're like nah, it's pretty garbage. Like it's like
Yeah.
and that's
Fucking suck today.
yeah, that's the reason why I enjoyed coming into your channel, and I think it's the same for me because like I'm always like that with my chat. Like my chat, if I'm having a bad day, I'm like guilty having a bad day. Like you know,
Yeah.
I don't lie about it because it's like you can't hide that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
People who come in your stream a lot, they notice it.
oh they know.
Oh yeah.
People know you like that. They'll latch onto that kind of thing. Like, I can't get away with anything in my community.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in a mood or something, people know. They just tell they
Mhm.
call me, especially Maya or Toko or whatever. They'll call me out. They'll be like, "What happened? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?" Like, no bullshit. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So what's so at the end of the day, like tell people why they should come watch Fierce Amanda. Like
Oh gosh.
why should the people come and enjoy your streams and hang out with you? What should they expect?
A lot of dumbass shit. Don't come in expecting amazing gameplay. It's not gonna happen in my channel.
Yeah.
I cuss like a sailor and I act like a dumbass 90% of the time.
That's why I'm there.
I have fun. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No, fair enough. So they can find you on Twitch, any other platforms they can find you on, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, anything like that.
I'm on all of them.
All of them?
Pretty much everyone you can name, I've made an account for at this point.
Same names as well. You got the same name for
everything's Fierce Amanda.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, guys, we'll wrap it up there, and it's awesome to talk to you and hang out.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you for coming on. I know it's late for you, and I know you've just finished work and that, so it was nice of you to just come on and have a chat with us. but yeah, I'll make sure everyone goes and checks out your channel and says hello. I'm sure you see a few of these names in your chat in the future. And
All right.
yeah, like thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on here.
That's all right. My pleasure. My pleasure. Everyone, tomorrow we will be doing the empowerment podcast with Ken. That will be on at 3 p.m. My time, which is the same time this podcast started today. We'll be doing some mindfulness stuff, including some goal orientation. So that'll be an interesting conversation to have. In the meantime, guys, have a great day, or night, or evening, or sleep, or whatever it might be. And we'll see you next time. Appreciate it. Bye.